Right, Finn, welcome back to Hove. Welcome back to the 2025 season. How's your winter been, firstly?
Yeah, it's been really good. Spent a couple of months here from November and December, after a month off in October. Um, just working on a couple of bits, and then managed to get myself to New Zealand for a couple of months, January and February, which was good fun. Nice to get away and play a bit of cricket, and then back raring to go for the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and was it quite a late move to New Zealand? Because I certainly didn't hear anything about it being mooted at first. Was it, does it just
Yeah.
tie in quite nicely with your schedule?
Um, yeah, it was quite poorly organised in terms of timing. Yeah. I was initially trying to head to Zimbabwe to play in their first class stuff over there and play a few T20s. Unfortunately, that fell through quite last minute. They had a couple of changes with the people who sort of run it over there, so the contact who I was chatting to isn't involved there anymore. So it was a bit of a late pull-out. So yeah, it was just trying to find some cricket overseas somewhere to get some overs in the legs and stuff just before coming back. So I was fortunate enough that I had a contact in New Zealand that was able to help me out and sort out some cricket. So yeah, fairly late on and bit poorly organised in terms of timing, but it was good to be able to get something.
And it panned out quite nicely from what I heard. I heard a double century in there.
Not a double, just a
Oh,
century.
I was listening to Farby, and he was saying double century.
Oh, thanks, Fabs. Pump me up. No, it was good out there. Yeah, I scored 100. Took some wickets, took a five for as well. So it was nice to sort of, as an all-rounder, it's always two things that you sort of strive for: is 5 wickets and 100. So it was good to get the opportunity to sort of spend some time out in the middle with the bat and also bowl a few overs. So yeah, it was a good time.
And they're all good competitive surfaces and good level of cricket with the players out there.
Yeah, it was the Christchurch Premier competition. I've played there a couple of times actually. I went over there in 2016 or 2017 and then 2019 as well. So yeah, back at the same club, and we ended up winning the 50 over competition that we were playing in as well. So that was good, and the standards probably a little bit better than Premier League cricket over here. So it was good to just sort of, yeah, again, as I said before, just get some overs in the legs and play some games.
Fantastic, and I imagine it's quite welcome to finally link up with all the players who've been, in all parts of the globe over the winter and chat about their experiences.
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic with the Sussex boys this year. I think there was only about 4 or 5 of us that were left at home in the end. So yeah, it was great to have everyone back, obviously, over the last couple of weeks in pre-season and training and stuff. There's still a couple of lads who are still overseas playing, but yeah, it's good to have the majority of the squad back, and the overseas boys are coming in this week, I think, as well. So yeah, it's good to have everyone back.
And of course, you really do have to think back to, I think it was 2015 or so, the last time we were in Division 1, and you were just breaking through at that point. I mean, what do you recall of those times and the squad that we had around at those points?
Yeah, I think there was a trivia question someone asked, I think, at the end of one of our end of season things or Christmas parties or something, just saying like who are the 3 names that are still involved at Sussex cricket, and one of them was Millsy, who was playing in Division 1 at the time, and he obviously doesn't play red ball cricket anymore, and the other 2 were me and Ollie Robinson. So yeah, the squad's obviously almost fully changed from then. My memories of that time is that I had a very poor first class debut is my initial memory out here against Hampshire. I think that was the season we got relegated, so that are my initial memories, which aren't great ones in first class cricket. I know we had a really strong squad, but I think we struggled a lot with injuries that season, and it obviously gave me a couple of opportunities to play, but to not great success in terms of getting relegated the first season in Division 1. So yeah, I mean, 10 years later we've got another opportunity to hopefully stamp some authority in the top division and play a bit better than I did there last time. But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, keen to write some new memories, I imagine, and hopefully have a few more moments like the run out against Yorkshire last season. That would be, fantastic to replicate in Division 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously going to be tough. There's a lot more strong opposition in Division 1. I think more the consistent threat in terms of like the consistency of attacks, the constant pressure and stuff. But they're things we've been talking about, we're ready for. I think we've got a very strong squad. There's a lot of guys that have been playing away with England Lions and stuff in the last couple of years, and obviously Ollie with his experience in Test cricket and stuff, and Jaden coming in, Dan Hughes. So we've got experience coming in, big names. So I think we'll go all right.
And does this squad rank amongst the best that you've experienced during your time at Hove now?
It would do, yeah. It's definitely one of the most talented. I think last time I was at the club, my first period, it was a lot older, a lot more experience in terms of age, and guys who'd done it consistently. But I think in terms of our ability as a squad and the ceiling. I think it's very, very high. I think there's obviously a lot of guys in our squad that will be pushing for international honours in the coming years. So I definitely see there's a lot of potential. It's just about obviously putting it together now against the bigger clubs in Division 1 and hopefully sort of putting teams under pressure this year and showing them what we can do.
And it's a new challenge for yourself this season. We were listening to Farby inside and he was saying he wants to play a specialist third seamer this season. So it strips away that dual all-rounder role that worked quite nicely last season with yourself and Danny. Does it really focus the mind and channel your actions in terms of being challenged to potentially take that third seamer role by Farby?
It's obviously it's one of those things like you want to be part of the team no matter what. I feel like I've bowled really well in this pre-season so far, but yeah, it's obviously it's going to be tough. There's competition for places now. There's serious competition around. So look, Croak's bowled really well at the end of last season. Hunty's bowling really well at the moment, and we have Ari who's bowled really well in the past for us, and other seamers coming through as well. So there's going to be a lot of competition for places. I think it's just about obviously consistency and being ready when you're called upon. I think that's just the biggest thing. There's going to be times when you don't play, there's going to be times when you do play, but I think when you are playing you've got to be able to take your opportunity. I think that's the biggest thing this year is with people coming in, it's about being ready to take that chance. And again, it's happened to me before in terms of maybe not playing, maybe playing sort of thing. It's happened a couple of years ago, happened a little bit last season, I struggled a little bit. So I'm ready. I think I'm bowling really well at the moment. I'm batting okay at the moment, so I'm ready when I'm needed. But hopefully we play. But with the competition in the squad, it is what it is.
And is your aim to be a regular in all three formats this season and really force your way, to be a regular in the T20 team as well?
Yeah, that's always the aim. Again, I struggled a little bit at times last season in T20. I think the role was trying to change me to batting a little bit higher up, and we had a couple of injuries as well at the start of the campaign, so the role was a little bit hit and miss, changed a bit, and I didn't really quite take my opportunities. So look, I definitely want to play all three formats. That's why I'm here. It's my job. I want to play as many first team games as I can. I want to keep being picked, and I want to keep being fit for selection. So yeah, that's still the aim, obviously. But I'll just put myself in the best possible position and then see how we go.
And of course, you'll be a key part of the leadership group, no matter whether you're captain, vice captain, third, fourth choice, so on. And is it something you'd be potentially interested in long term to be a captain, vice captain in any format?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it too much in terms of leading and captaincy wise. I think we've got a leadership group at the club, and I'm happy to be part of that, and just sort of being slightly older than a few of the lads now, being on the edge of my way towards 30. It's obviously something that I take pride in. I obviously like being around the senior group and hopefully offer as much as I can to the younger players when they need it. And it's always open, being able to talk to people about things to do with cricket, whatever, cricket, not cricket, stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoy that sort of role in the dressing room, and it's nice to be seen in that light. But yeah, I think the captaincy thing, I haven't really thought about it. Obviously Simo's doing a great job, and Tamal in the T20. So yeah, I can't say that's really been too much in my mind, but in the future, if it came up, and I'd love to lead the club, obviously. But yeah, that's way down the line at the moment.
Fantastic. And we'll finish off with a few quick fire questions, a bit like last season.
Yep.
I recall sitting here last year. Firstly, what ground are you most looking forward to playing at this season?
Trent Bridge.
Any reason why?
I just like the atmosphere there, the surface, and I've had some good performances there in the past. So yeah, Trent Bridge.
Yeah, favourite of mine as well. So if we look at all three formats, I'm going to split them up. Who's going to be our highest run scorer in each competition?
I'm going to go first class, Tom Alsop. I'm going to say T20 is going to be Dan Hughes. Boring answer.
He's been the favourite amongst everyone so far.
And 50 over is an interesting one, because I don't think it depends how people go in the T20 if they're going to be around or not. But if it's between Hainsey and Clarkey, I reckon, at the top of the order. I'm going to go with Tom Clark if he doesn't get picked up in the 100, because I think there's a good chance he does. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that. It's rogue. And then bowlers, who's going to be our top wicket takers in each format?
I'm going to go with Ollie Robinson, first class. Millsy, Tamar Mills T20, and Henry Crocombe 50 overs.
I like it. And finally, who's going to be our breakout star or our wild card this season?
The thing is, I wouldn't class anyone as a breakout because of obviously being involved, knowing all of them and what they're capable of. And obviously a few of the guys had good years in the last couple of years, breaking out in terms of like Hunty, Croaks, Colsey. So if you're thinking of a breakout, I think Sean Hunt's going to have a great year. So I'll go with Hunty, even though I've already think he's already had sort of like his breakout. But I think he's going to have a good year this year.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us, Fynn.
Thanks, Will.
Cheers.